Hello everyone and welcome to today's PhotoBiz Live where we'll be doing an Ask Me Anything about scary website mistakes. There's plenty of things that we do on our website that we think is improving the website, but it actually can be a detriment to the website overall and user experience. So we're going to look at some things that we can easily fix that could be frightening to customers. So settle in, we're going to sit back and take a look at some things and how you can make those improvements today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section. And of course, next week we'll be doing website reviews. So if you want to have your website reviewed, please let me know in the comment section. That's one way you can get on there. It's first come, first serve basis on that side. So we'll give some time, give some people to get settled in, and then we'll walk through today's event. All right, so let's get started for today. Again, if you have any questions, please leave in the comment sections. Otherwise, just enjoy. Let's take a look at some of the things that we can do today to improve our website. Again, if you want to check out some of the stuff that we have, you can always go to our blog.photobiz.com. It's got a lot of great tips and tricks, but you can also see what's been dropped recently. So, brand new things in October. Let's take a look. Some brand new features that we have is PhotoBiz AI's one-click text editor. That's available now. All you have to do is take advantage of that, write some text in the text editor block, and guess what? All you have to do is then hit the Ask PhotoBiz AI button, and it'll revise the copy for you. So no more worrying about typos or making sure that it sounds, the way you want it to. As long as you have your business profile set up, it'll be able to reflect the type of voice that you want towards your audience, and it'll make those copy choices more beautiful and elegant for your clientele. So that's brand new to the builder. We also have 12 new video layouts. This is exciting because we've been wanting to update the video layouts for a while, and we have some brand new ones right away. So you can see now you can pair it easily with text next to it and different types of text blocks. It's almost like the image plus text block, text plus image blocks. So there's a lot more of that styles, but there's also some overlay effects included with some of them, which is going to really help make it look as beautiful as possible. So very excited about those features. Check that out. That's available right now. 12 new layouts. wonderful. You also have new card testimonial layouts, which now you can take advantage of. Now they're in the image block layout area, but you can see they come with like custom tags, like the little icons, if you're looking for something like that, with little options to swivel left or right. You also have the overlay effects as well. So really nice, brand new feature that's available you can take advantage of right now is the new card testimonial layout options. And of course, you can upload videos into the list block area now. It was there, but now we've got more options that you can do right away. So if you want to take advantage of that, this is going to be really helpful because we're going to have some brand new overlay features coming soon and layout options for the list blocks. So that's something that you definitely want to take advantage of. So if you didn't know about that video option, guess what? It's going to get even better as we make improvements to that block to make it even more visually stunning. Also for the scheduler, we have updated to make it more visually, pleasing as well. You'll have new side panel options, so now everything sides out of the sides, just like everything else in the website builder versus going into a menu on menu. So that's available, and you can also see calendar view options has been modified as well. You have an additional view. You can look at the list way, or you can look at it per dates. So you can always go through it this way as well. So nice little visual components added to the builder this month. Very beautiful elements and layouts. So take advantage of those as you get started and take advantage of them and see how you can beautify your website as we start the new year. So let's dive in and look at some of the scary things that you might be doing on your website today. So I built a couple different things. I've made a mistakes page, and we'll kind of look at what that mistakes are. Might not come off apparent right away, but when we go through it, it will as I break down the ways you can fix them. Now, if you want to go along with me, I have an article called Scary Website Mistakes to Avoid in 2025 that's available on the blog.photobiz.com. You can take advantage of that, read through it as we go through it. But we're going to go through some of these options that are here today, and let's just go ahead and kick it off with our first one, and that's having a frightening mobile experience. Now, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but as we have entered 2025, I think I've been saying this since 2014. Your website needs to make sure that it's mobile friendly. And I don't mean just like, oh, it looks, it works on a phone. These days, it needs to be the best looking thing for your website is the mobile experience, because over 80% of people are coming to the website via that way these days. Your phone first. I think we were going phone first for a while, and then we kind of backtracked. But guess what? PhotoBiz does something different from all the other builders. It does both first. And what do we mean by that? Well, the builder is optimized to look good on desktop and look good on mobile, where a lot of other builders out there want you to have a mobile version modified. So you'll have to build the website twice, which is unfortunate because how much time do you actually have? And you can look at some of these other website builders that have AI generated, like, oh, you can do it, but when you play with it, you're like, oh, I still did all the work at the end of the day anyway. So they're not really helping you out on that side. But PhotoBiz is doing something uniquely different with its system. So I like to call it Magic and Mobile. That's what I've been calling it for years, and it truly is. Now, if you look at this website, we're going to pull it up over here so you can take a look at it there. So you can see it looks fine here. It looks like, okay, we're going to go through this website, and it looks beautiful on the desktop. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But what I'm talking about when it comes to mistakes is when you have the options, you can take a look at the design, click on the design in the top tab. You have the way to look at it on tablet or mobile. So if I were going to view this website on mobile, I'm going to go to our mistakes page. You can see the differences right away. So I set this banner up. It looks awesome here, but when I go to it on mobile, it looks like this. And I'm sure you've seen that. Maybe you have an image that no one's in the center frame. Maybe they're not visually there. And all of a sudden, you have a compromised homepage. Some people are like, oh, I don't want the image to bleed. Okay, that's fine. We've made options where you can have no crop options and it looks beautiful. I like the full effect. I like it when it bleeds off the page. I think there's something beautiful about that. Aesthetically, it's more jaw-dropping when you open up the website. But if the mobile experience is not reflecting that, there are many ways to fix this. So you want to make sure that it does look better, that your website performs not just like a shrunken down version of your website, but it actually is a version of your website that works. So things that we need to look at is in a mobile first world, websites that still shrink down from desktop, the layouts are monsters in disguise. And your menus are tiny, the text overlaps, and your images load off center like this one. Your visitors are going to be gone. They're just gonna leave it. So what can you do is design your mobile site in a first mobile website mode. So take a look at your website when you're building. Click on the design tab at the top. View how the images are looking. View how the layouts are looking. There are many ways you can do that. You can see right now for our images, we have them going down 2 columns, which looks really nice. But what if you didn't have that? What if you had it single? Well, that would be a ton of images. And that can slow down your website, slow down the experience for your users. And again, you want to get them straight there quickly as possible. So quick fixes we can look at. So let's take a look. So we're going to go back to our mistakes page. We're going to see here, when we click here, you have your image. Now, you can make sure that this, when you click on the image, that the focal point is set where you want it to be. Now, why do we do that? Well, we do it for multiple reasons. Mobile experience is the top one. So I can click here, and I know that this is the focal point. So when the website goes to that mobile look, it's telling the system where you would like the image focus to be. And you can see right away we've made that decision. It already looks better than it was previously. And those are the types of decisions you want to make. You want to make sure all your images are set up to perform that way. Otherwise, you're going to have bleeding effects that you're not going to like. You're going to have things where you're like, oh, that image got cropped. Like, oh, I don't like how this image crops. Well, guess what? Go into your builder. Go to that page. Go to that block that needs modification and ensure that it gets where you want it to. So you can see like this one right here, oh, it's bleeding off. So maybe if I was to select a different image, like this one, you could then put the focal point there. So it really comes down to those types of decisions. Or better yet, find a vertical image. Because with vertical images on mobile, automatically they're going to look better on that side. But you're like, well, I shoot both. Yes, I know. But for the mobile experience, for banners and such, you can actually update banners to have vertical alignment. When you click on a banner block, you can go over here, you can see the mobile design, mobile images that are available. Here you can select something from your clipboard. You can then choose something like this that's a vertical image. Once that vertical image is set, now see here you don't see the difference. And you see there's text still there. Well, what if you made something like this? You copied it, copy that text, go over to your mobile image, and look here, you can place that information here too. You can then add whatever information here as well. You can then have the view portfolio button. Send it where you want it to go. Or you can make it go anywhere that the mobile version can be completely different from the desktop version when it comes to the top. Have it that way. So what are we talking about? So when I go over to design now, if I want to look at this page and see what it looks like on mobile, well, look at that. Now it's a completely different experience. Now it's telling the system, hey, that's the desktop image, but load the mobile version instead because we want this to look correct. So again, things to think about when you're looking at that is how do you want your images to perform and load on the website. And again, in a mobile experience, you want to make sure that it is looking its best. So we recommend uploading for banners, mobile images when possible, and for any other image on your website, check out the focal point. Make sure that it's set properly where you want it to showcase, and that way it's there as well. And then when it comes down to anything else that might be problematic for your website, maybe again, if your website is set to single column, that could be a lot of images that someone's having to scroll through. We want to make their experiences a short, sweet, but beautiful experience at the end of the day. Customers want to be in and out, but they want to make those decisions right away. So if we're looking at something like this, look at how many images they would have to scroll through. That's a lot, right? Now it looks big and beautiful, but below it, look at that. You can get the same experience and they can click on it and look at it this way if they wanted to anyway. So think about those types of decisions when you're building your website for mobile. What is the experience at the end of the day that you're trying to convey? Now, maybe for a portfolio page, you want all those images to load single file, and that's fine. But for something like a home page or something like that, get straight to the point, set it to 2 columns, and you're done. Okay? All right, next, speaking of images, the slow loading curse. This is number 2. So everything, every extra second on your site counts. They say people only stay on a website for less than 3 seconds now. Isn't it crazy that we've gotten to where we can't even stay on a website anymore? We can't even look at things. We've grown up in a social media age where everything is fast, here and now. So now we have to get their attention as quickly as possible. And if you have a slow loading site, not only is that a detriment to their user experience because they're going to go through things quickly, but also Google has noticed how people perform on websites, how long they engage with information, and is your website up to their qualifications basically to showcase people for SEO purposes. So your SEO is a part of this image. We have to make sure that your images are loading fast because it's looking at how fast your website speed is. And if your website speed is too slow for it, it starts to basically doctor where you're at. Where are you at in performance? Does it show you to more people or show you less? Well, does it want to load a slow website? Probably not. It's like, oh, this isn't a very engaging website. People are bouncing off of it very quickly. Why is it worth showing? So, things that you want to look at is how many plugins do you have on a website? Are you uploading lots of images onto a thing? So if we're talking about a homepage, 7 to 10 images is really all you need. If we're looking at this homepage here that we built, look at how many images are on it. There's a ton. That's too much for a homepage. Be short and sweet. Be very quick and easy. Get them what they know. They can figure out what type of photographer you are in seconds. So rely on that. Other things you can do is enable things, I call it smart loading, but it's in the past been called lazy loading. Invest in reliable hosting. So with PhotoBiz, you have that 99.98% uptime we've had for 22 years. So very fast, reliable hosting and CDNs. You might have seen it this last week, but Amazon went down, right? How catastrophic did it feel for half a day? People get impacted that way. It can impact businesses. It can impact yourself. It can impact anything going on. But you want to rely on these networks anyway because my website might load faster in other places, other regions, and locally, the more people go to it. And that's what these CDNs do. They're cloud distribution networks. So basically, if someone loads up my website at my computer, but then does it at like a local library or on their phone or something like that, but we're all kind of generally within the 50-mile radius, the more easier it gets for speed loading. And what do I mean by that? Well, instead of it going directly to a server like the old ways, an old hosting, server in someone's warehouse, right? What it's doing is it's collecting information from closer networks. So, say me, my neighbors, all of us went to my website. Well, if I were to dial up my website now and it's like maybe across the street, it might go even faster because it can now pull not just from the server, but this cloud-based information that's floating within all these networks and infrastructure that's around us. So think of it that way. Everything cloud-based is kind of always floating in between us in the air. So if more people go to your website, the faster your website gets because it's collecting it from multiple sources instead of a singular one. So that's one way to kind of explain that if you didn't know how that cloud-based stuff goes. So ways that we can do this, when we're looking at speed, look at this page. Look at how many images we have on it. This is too much. This is extremely too much. First of all, for any page, even for a portfolio, 30 images max. If you have to go any further, 50. But 30 max is all you need for a portfolio page. Homepage, again, 7 to 10 images. That's really all you need to sell it. If you can't, think about how you want to self-edit yourself. Remove images when possible. If you can't do that, rely on these options, these smart loading options, these lazy loading options. So I'm going to remove some images right away. We don't need all those, right? I'm going to remove some. Okay, so now I got these. But even still, there's many other ways you can do this. Now, you can showcase it differently. You can make it where it's a slideshow. That'll condense the page a whole lot, where it's then controlled by the speed that you dictate to it, which looks fine. You could then also enable other layout options again. Maybe you want to do something like this, something brand new with this maybe a carousel effect, which looks beautiful as well. And it's going to look great on phone. It's going to have this visual pop to it. You could also enable those lazy loading options. So what do we mean by that? Let's just take a look at our pin board, I'm just going to make a column of 2 by 2. So when I do that, you can see there's a load more option. So when we come in here, you'll see last item, and you can tell it to do more options. We're going to say load more images or something like that. We'll keep that in place. So when we come to that page now, instead of it being a wall of images that, most people are just going to glance over like how as fast as I did. Now they're going to come to it and immediately be told, hey, you can do more. And this just tells the system, don't load these images till necessary. This also improves your speed. It also creates less hiccups. So now instead of loading hundreds of images, it only had to load those first X amount that I told it to load. And of course, you can control that by how many columns, how many rows that you want to enable, for how many images you have, and then with the load more option, it'll kind of just stagger it out that way. So you're not having to worry about like, oh, is it slowing down my website, or is people seeing enough? I know some people get scared, like, well, will people know to click more? Yeah, you hope they would be smart enough, right? And if not, it's okay, because you're already showing off your first 5 favorite images. And if those can't sell it, then we need to get some new images in there. So that's ways to improve the speed of your website. It's going to help a whole lot on that side. Next, let's get a look at other options that you can look into. And that is making sure that your website looks beautiful and easy to navigate. You can see up here at the top. Look at how many things I have up here. Now, of course, my example and those are here, but even if they weren't, look at how many options we have. It's already going to the next layer. So, we have a home, we have an about. Oh, look, we have a sub about, our story, investment. So these are things that you want to help with your navigation. I've seen people have where it says portfolio and then it has galleries, or portfolio and then multiple galleries, which is fine as long as it gets straight to the point. You need to understand how to build your navigation. You don't want to make it too busy. You don't want to make it confusing. We always say around 5 to 7 options is really all you need as the main up here. So those are some things that you need to consider when you're putting it together. Also, one thing, pet peeve of mine, is when someone has an about drop down and then immediately the next one says about in our story. What's the difference between about and our story? You should have both just be our story or about yourself, or the photographer, something like that. But you can just go straight into your story, and you don't need an about for that. You can break out that about and then rename this one as something else completely. Just think about those types of things, because then about is also, why is it harvesting investments? These are some other things that I also don't like, is when subcategories start having things that aren't even necessary there. I've seen people where it says about, and then they'll have their holiday session somehow in that menu structure. How are they supposed to be able to find that type of information truly? Those are types of things that you need to think about when you're putting this stuff together, is how messy is your navigation? Easy to navigate to these pages. What's the difference between a booking and a contact? I've seen some people where they are identical, but they should be separate looking. Booking should have the ability to book you for services directly here with a scheduling tool, right? Or if you're using a third party, taking you straight to that option. Contact should be set up as an option to submit questions so they can get answers, so you can talk. Yes, you can book through this option. This is kind of the secondary booking quarterly, or you scrap the booking altogether and you only use the contact section as a way for people to book and connect with you. So don't confuse it for your audience. Otherwise, they don't know where to go with these options. What's the difference between a gallery and a portfolio? I've seen some people have both, and I'm like, what's the difference? Or they get really confused on their navigation about all of this stuff. Like portfolio might be something specific about one type of photography. Like this one might be only about senior photography, but yet they have a whole other page dedicated to other things, but those are in a portfolio versus their gallery. So vice versa. You got to think about those types of situations. And their story might be completely different from their about page. Like the about information might just be purely about the photography, but then our story page is about the business. They should be all one and the same. That way they're getting streamlined information. They shouldn't have to jump to too many pages to get the information that they're looking for. So make sure that when you're putting this together, that we're trying to condense down how many pages are there. If you need to use drop downs, make them mindful decisions for where things go, such as like holiday sessions being on the outside, or the about. Maybe we only need the about segment or just the our story part. We can remove the other pieces. We don't need so many drop downs for the about. So think about those types of decisions when you're putting it together. I'm going to remove these two pieces because, hey, we already have our story page. How about that? We already have an about page. Now it's starting to clean up a little bit. Then you can start thinking about, like, what other pages do I need? What other things do I need? Are there pages hanging out there that are visible that you want hidden? Make sure you're enabling the hidden options when available. I'm going to hide our mistakes page. I'm going to hide our example page. That way they're not visible on our main menu. So now when we go back, we hit refresh. Now it's starting to clean up a lot. Now it's starting to get there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Still a lot of pieces. Still a lot. So think about how other ways you can condense that. Again, of course, drop downs might be a great way to do that too. So let's look at our next options. And that is number 4, the ghost of vague messaging. So what do we mean by that? Have you ever landed on the homepage that looks stunning but leaves you wondering what the business actually does? That's the ghost of unclear copy. Things that you want to fix here is who you are, what you do, and who's it for. I've been to many pages where I'll get to the website page. I'm just going to create one real quick. I'll get there, and there's literally nothing. There might be a welcome like this. Or they still have the text blanket copy there. They might not have any information other than welcome to me, and that's it. Nothing else. And then you're supposed to be, as an audience member, figure out what they do. Well, I'm hoping they do seniors, but in most situations, they'll probably have different types of photography all over the place. They might have something like this for portraits. Let's see. We'll do family. Or they'll have something even more, something like this, which is my favorite, a placeholder or landscape. Now for me, coming to a page like this, who are you? I see portraits, I see seniors, and then the next one would be fine art. But for me, I don't know what you do. I just see welcome to your brand. You should have that who, what, when, and where, and why about you. And what do I mean by that? So when we come to your brand, you want to welcome to Jane Doe Studio Senior Photographer. Be clear about where you're at. Be informational on that side. So I'm going to just ask PhotoBiz AI to put information. So you can see right here, it already put some information. We specialize in senior photography, expertly showcasing unique area and where we're located at New York, New York. In studio options, out studio options. This is all generated. It's all there, but this is the information I fed it earlier. When we started, when you come here to the branding section, you have your business profile. Set up your business profile. Where am I at? I'm Jane Doe Studio. I'm in New York, New York. I'm a senior photographer, and this is what I want people to know about me. I want them to know that I do these things and I have a fun and playful voice to my brand. So now when I come back to a page like this, I know exactly where this person is. That means I know everything about this. And if you want to improve upon this, you can change it. You can write your own context in here if you rather that. So you can talk about, like, at Jane Doe Studio, I shoot beautiful, unique senior photos with a twist. I try to make sure your personality shines through while filming it old school on color and black and white film. Whether It's the streets or the studio. I'll make it happen. Now, maybe that's what I wanted to kind of say, but I don't like the way it's sounding. I can copy this. I can see what it says here, and then I can tell it to do it again. And what it's going to do is it's going to read what I wrote, and then and it's going to take what I have and make it more vibrant, more fresh with that fun voice that I added to have. So you can see, let's bring out your inner athlete, artist, tech whiz, whatever makes you shine. Get ready for fun and experience. That's exactly what I wanted. And then you can keep modifying the script as you go, but you want to be clear about who, what, where, and why about us. So we know now my name of the studio. I'm in New York. I do senior photos, and why it matters. I bring out the inner athlete, artist, tech whiz, you name it. And we also shoot in multiple places. So those are some things that you want to make sure that this messaging is clear throughout your website. Otherwise, I can go to a page on your website and I'm like, well, this is great. This is a great portfolio, but I don't know where you're located. Where are these photos taken? I don't know. So you want to make sure that's clear. So if anything, go through your pages, click on it, make sure that that's there so you know, and it'll generate the right stuff for you. You can see that it's putting in the information where I want it to. And it'll just go through it all and make sure that it's there. So just kind of give clarity to your pages. Just comb through it, make sure that it's saying the who, what, when, and where about the pages that you want, because each page can then be targeted as its own landing page. Next is a cluttered, overloaded design. You ever been to a page where there's just so much stuff on it? Like it's just too much. I'm sure you've seen a lot of pages like this, especially for like single page websites where you can keep going down, 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 and it's just constantly going. Now, we saw that earlier when we had tons of images, but you can keep it going. I've been to pages where, you come here, let's just add some blocks. We'll add this, and then there'll be a block after that that's a video, and then there'll be a block that's after that, like about their blog. You can add their blog block. That's great, and it'll look gorgeous, but everything starts stacking up on top of one another. They even have booking directly on their pages. It starts to become too much, right? So you'll get to a page, and it's like, oh, hi, welcome to my website. Check out these images. Here's some info about me. Check out these portals to other pages. Send me a message. Also check me out on Instagram, but then also see this image, but then watch this video, then go to this blog, and then check out these ways that you can book with me, and so on. It becomes too much for the user. We already know that most users barely make it past here. And why is that? Because they're already looking at the menu where they want to go next. So I always recommend especially, is making sure you have specific things above the fold. So if I was going to change some things, I'd put this here, just some information about that business, and then I'd put this portal right above it. Other things I might do, I don't think I need this. So I'm going to get rid of the images that we have here. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're putting some things into place. And the reason why I'm doing that is so if I come to this page now, if I go to this mistake page, what we're seeing that was so much on this page, refresh. Now we're getting more direct with what we want. We're wanting them to see something about our portfolio. Of course, we have this click here, but we also have options directly here for people to make actions. We're learning about where we're located at. You can, modify this if this doesn't say what you want it to say yet. Hey, jump in there. Go in there. Ask PhotoBiz AI to take advantage of it. I'm going to tell it to put in there. Since I have my business profile set up, it's going to put that personality, it's going to put those details directly in there. Boom, look at that. It knows where I'm located. It knows those details. You want to make sure that you're doing this for all your pages and getting that information updated as clean and as curated as possible. It's about being professional at the end of the day. And again, boom, right into here. So now we're looking at it. You can see we fold right into these options in there. Short and sweet. Look at all this other stuff. I don't need any of that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to remove those things. We don't need those things. I'd rather it end on follow us on Instagram because I don't want them to leave our website unless they absolutely need to. It's about keeping them there. It's about keeping them there. And you're like, well, I got more stuff to show them. Yeah, but you don't want to bloat it. Think about how people scroll through Instagram. They're constantly searching for the next thing. So if your website is very concise and has pages that link to the next page, well, guess what? Now they're going to come to this website. They're going to be like, oh, okay. I guess I'll just go to the next page, and the next page, and the next page, right? That's what you want. And you'll even see this if you collect anything like what we call heat maps or anything like that. You'll see that usually these are the hottest, and it gets colder as it goes down because people click down the line. It's just something that we have, especially in a Western lens of like websites, or even just how we read. We read left to right, right? So they're going this way, and they're going to go there till they get to what they're looking for. Okay? So now that we got that set up, we've seen that. What are some other things that we can think about is making sure that we don't have too many things. I've also seen something, this is I absolutely hate. Have you ever been to a website and there's like 5 pop-ups right away? You'll have a banner. I'm going to publish this. They'll also have a welcome message banner, with like a form on it, like, hey, book with me. Which, sure, I just got to your website. I don't want to see everything pop up immediately, right? Or they'll have another one right on top of that, and it's like, oh, for an offer, put a little something there. I'm just going to put a little form. Something like that, or subscribe or something like that. They'll have something very short and sweet. And then we'll publish this one. I'm going to edit it slightly. I want it to pop up just a little bit later, just a few seconds later, so you can see what it's like going to a website like this. But I'm sure you've been to a website like this, where you come to a page, you go to our pages, right? We go all the way back to our mistakes page. I'm going to hit refresh. And boom, right away you're hit with a pop-up. You're like, oh, okay, what do I do next? So you click X off that. Whoa, there's a thing here at the top. You're like, okay, oh gosh, then there's another pop-up. Have you ever been to a website where it's just constantly bombarding you with stuff? Let me tell you, users hate that. We are already prone to that. Older users especially, they immediately walk away. Newer users are already told, hey, this is a negative. You should make these things feel incentivized versus just bombarding them. Make sure that they're not feeling that as soon as they come to your website. And for please, you can have a sticky banner, and I recommend putting it at the bottom. Have a pop-up, but delay when it comes out, but only have one per page. You don't need to have multiples. It just is exhausting. It doesn't incentivize. It also feels desperate to the user, like you're trying to get something out of you. Don't do that. Number 6, ignoring accessibility. Now, what are we talking about with accessibility? Well, there's a couple things. Well, more people will use the website than just yourself, right? So you need to make sure that when people are coming to it, they're able to do things. That means tabbing and things like that. So when they come to your page, can they go through your website? Can they make those types of decisions and go to pages? Can they go elsewhere? You want to make sure that the accessibility is there. You want to make sure that you have high contrast for images. This is to help you and your users when it comes at the end of the day. So, have you ever been to a web page where everything kind of is too samey? Like, I'll build a page out real quick. I'll just make a blank one. You come to a page. You set it up. You've been to the website. They have a block that's white. Okay. But then the text on it is not white. It's like an ashier light color. You're like, okay. But it's like a lighter color, right? Even lighter. It goes here on a white block, right? And next thing you know, it looks like this. And then their next block, they'll add something like a text plus image like this, right? And it looks cool. But then they'll do something like the color is like gray for text, or off-white, green tones, things like that. And then like everything in between, like the button color matches the greens and stuff like that. Border color, just there's none, so I'm just gonna keep it as is. The background color is this green, but it's like barely, and like you start seeing things like, okay, what am I looking at? Like it starts to look way too close to one another where you can't read anything, like this. Have you ever been to a page where it's just like barely visible with the text? You go to that page, you're like, what is happening, right? You scroll in, you're like, whoa, I can barely read anything on this page. Is this a button? I guess so. Like, you start to see things like this, especially if like yellow on yellow, white on white, you start to see colors that are too close. This doesn't help accessibility. They cannot read it. People cannot read it, especially people who have seeing impairments and stuff like that, and that use technology like the ADA compliance stuff where it'll read to them like what the page says. And a big piece of that is making sure that you have alt text on your images. It's really simple to do. Click on any image in your website, go to it, you'll see the Ask PhotoBiz AI. And instead of writing your copyright material, which a lot of photographers try to do, this is about making it accessible. Alt text is for alternative text. It's meant for people to read. So the system reads this to them. So if someone with an impairment were to click on the image, it would read this to them. That's what its true intent is. Now, I know we've tried to use it for SEO exploits, and you can still do that. You can still say, this is a photograph by blah, blah, blah. A photograph. And there you go. You can add those segments. So if you want to enhance that by adding that little piece of alt text in front or as a leader, you can always add that. Just make sure you go to all your images, click on it, add alt text. That's all you need to do. This is gonna, and PhotoBiz AI is brilliant. It understands what it's looking at. A child holding a red maple leaf with flowers in the background. Exactly what it is. Next one. A woman hugging a sleepy child outdoors. There you go. And then our last one. A young woman in casual attire sits on a stone bench outdoors. Easy enough. You can do that for all your images on your website by just simply clicking it and going through it. Easy. It's a breeze. This will help accessibility for your clientele. And since we're already talking about accessibility in alt text and SEO, making sure that you have SEO. That's a big thing. A lot of people I'll see, they'll have their SEO, they open it up, and it's just this. And I'm like, you didn't even click the auto options. Let me tell you, this right here can make or break. Oh, people aren't finding me. Well, yeah, because you didn't do this. Click Ask PhotoBiz AI, and immediately, look at this. Save changes. It's done. Incredible, right? So it already knows what we're trying to put together. And know this was my mistakes web page and stuff like that. So you can see the information that it distilled from it. Now, of course, you can customize it. You can go directly from here asking it. Or you can go right here and tell it to write a page. This is a home page for Jane Doe Studios. Watch this. So I'm going to tell it that. It has my business profile information. It's going to articulate that, and there we go. So there you go. It gets right in there. It does what you need it to do. So you need to make sure that you're doing this for your own website. Go page by page, easy enough. I can go right here, go straight to here, click on that. You can see it's already been done. Go to the next page, go to a portfolio page. It knows this is a portfolio page. Okay. Do it. Done. So make sure that you're going through your website, making sure that you have your SEO there, and check on it. Make sure you put tracking data information here. You can go through here. You can put Google Analytics right here. Or you can go specifically page by page if you have certain targets that you want to do. So you can go up here to the SEO tab for that page, add the tracking information directly there as well. Next is the invisible CTA, call to action. A weak or hidden call to action. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm sure we've seen it a billion times, but when you come here, you're just telling people to learn more. Learn more, learn more. Find out more. Wow, it's just slightly different. You're the director of your website. You need to tell them what action needs to take place. Of course, go to a portfolio to learn more. No, view my work. Investment, learn more. Yeah, that could possibly work. You can think of other buzzwords and things like that to get there. Contact me, learn more. No, let's talk. Something simple. Things like that are really helpful when it comes to generating, purpose and driving direction where you want them to go. Again, you're the director of the page. So if I come down here, what if it was view my work? What's the cost? Send a message. These are purposeful call to actions. They all have purpose. They're all telling me what to do next, my next steps. These are things that you want to happen on your page. Follow us on Instagram. Learn more? No. Follow. View. Tell me the cost. Send me a message. Those are the things that you want to tell people to do. So make sure when you're telling these types of call to actions that they are diverse, but also instinctively directions to tell them what happens next. Don't be boring. Contact, get in touch, something like that. Tell them what happens next. And of course, you've built your website. It lives for a while. But then it starts to get old and nothing happens. You need to always check on your website. Things that you need to always make sure that you're doing. Making sure that you have your brand updated. That means blogging. Blogging is really easy, simple. Just add a blog at least twice a month if possible. If you can do once a week, great. This helps put your signal out to Google that you're doing something, that you're an actual living business that can then be utilized to attract customers, drive clicks and engagement to your website page. You need to also check up on links, make sure they're all working, check your SEO, make sure it's looking good, see what's working, what's not working, and always refresh your design when possible. Hey, guess what? PhotoBiz makes it really easy. Maybe you had this web design for a while. You can always go to design, change template, then choose a different look altogether. Let's see what our layouts we got. Oh, I like these. Oh, okay. What if I want to go for more dark tone? Let's go for it. I'm going to click on it, and now it's going to emulate all those things that we have there. You can tell it to do like, oh, I want to do this. I'm going to add a new template. Take this one, use new template settings. And now it's going to use those tones and colors and those choices based on what I suggested it to do. So those are types of things that you want to make sure that you're doing. Little things like that, as long as it's on brand, can help just stimulate and make people interested in your website again. And missing trust signals. Now, what's a trust signal? I come to your web page and it looks like, hey, this is a great site, but there's nothing there that tells me that you're trustworthy. Now, trustworthy signals are easy. It's getting testimonials, making sure that the right words are on the page saying the right things. So if I go to my example page, we come here, we come down, immediately we're getting words from people that have been with you. You can create options now. You can even enhance this segment. So if I were going to take this, you can now have this moment. You can then go in here, add another image block. You can see that we have tons of different looks now. If you want to modify it, you can totally pick something. You can go through here. We have testimonial options down here. Choose which one you think is best. Select that one. I'm just going to choose this card one. We can then select like just the text that's here. Just going to select an image. Go select what it says in here. And then, of course, if you have multiples, you just keep stacking them. You can have them there. You can then affect how fast it goes, if there's autoplay options or not. Customize it the way you want to. Okay? These are ways to get people excited about your brand and get really on board with wanting to work with you. I definitely recommend doing this, just to get things out there, out to the door. I'll put a second one. There we go. So now if we were going to come to this section, don't mind it's not styled, but it's more about the visual direction. You can see how it works. This is something great when it comes to making your website look beautiful. And it also adds trust signals to your website so people believe you. And that's what you want at the end of the day. You want people to see testimonials, awards, feature logos, why clients love you, anything like that that you can add to your brand identity, add it to your website. Because they might not see it on social media. They might not know you've worked with all these big brands or some high-end clientele, but they'll see it on your website. And of course, when we're looking at our example option, you can see it's very clean. You can see that we have these beautiful images. It's going to look good on mobile or desktop right away. We have it going down the center, right down here, and it looks beautiful, and it's not getting in the way. You can see how it looks totally as we just look at it quickly. You can see as a mobile experience, it's just simply gorgeous, and that's what you want. So think about the things that we talked about today, how you can beautify your website, how you can get rid of some of those stubborn mistakes that live on websites and keep improving. And of course, if you have any questions, reach out to our team. Our team is always there to assist you when it comes to making sure your website is not scary. Again, always check out our blog, .photobiz.com. Our Growth Hub has tons of things. You can read that article that I wrote about if you need any other assistance. You can also check out other latest tips such as offline SEO. What is that? It's about making real world connections. Read those stories there that can help you. You can learn more about what's new. You can also check out brand new tools and features and how we align with them. Chat, GPT, Atlas, and PhotoBiz AI, the perfect team for photographers. How does it work? Well, it's really easy. So if you download a brand new browser, all you have to do is ask Chat GPT, hey, I need this topic. Copy something for an evergreen topic. Paste it right into PhotoBiz AI, and boom, it generates a blog post right then and there. You can work with this all day long when it comes to building these types of options. Definitely take advantage of that. It'll really speedline everything up and streamline it for you. You can also see, again, what's new. You can always check out our guides that we have available. You can also listen to our weekly podcast. The Focus Shift podcast you can see this week was about website mistakes and how to fix them. What else should we talk about? Let us know in the comments section. Send it to us. We'll cover topics that you want. You can also download freebies this year and check out our recent success stories. You can see such as one with like Kate DeCoste, Rebecca Gregg, and Blackall Photography, and much, much more. If you need any assistance, go to our education.photobiz.com. Here you can see that we have coaching services available that you can book us for 1 hour, $150. You can get a lot done. It's one of our most popular services. I love doing this. I actually get to help out with this part, but I help a lot with the design assistance. We have SEO experts that are here to help you with SEO. And of course, if you need any help for forms, contracts, marketing, or setting up e-commerce and clients, or just getting started, we're here to help you and we can walk you through. And it's a great process. I definitely recommend it. People love it. It's amazing. You can also check out our upcoming events. Next week, we have website reviews. And then the week after that, we'll be talking about FAQs. Are they important? Do you think you should have them on your website? When is there too many? And what types of questions should you be answering? Those are types of things that we're going to talk about. And then we're back on website reviews. And then we'll have a holiday break. And then we're back on website reviews. And then using PhotoBiz AI to help with your website. We'll be talking more about that. We talked a little bit about it today, but there's so many other ways that you can utilize it. If you're just getting started, you can also check out our on-demand videos. If you need help setting up any products, you can also see all the demos that we have here for each product that's available when it comes to setting up your products. Check it out. They're very quick, short, straight to the point, so you don't have to sit around all day and get your stuff going. You can also check out and talk to our team anytime by clicking here. You can see we have our live chat functionality. We're very fast when it comes to helping you. You also can call us anytime as well. Our team will be happy to assist you. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. If you have any questions, again, leave it in the comment section. Of course, if you want to have your website review, check us out next week. All right. I hope everyone has a pleasant, and if you're celebrating Halloween, have a safe evening.